dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfuckers.
For your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Hide the rum.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Well, you know what time it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the machine. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Silent Bob.
Yeah, he's back.
I
We,
am in.
we try to get rid of him, but, hey, turn me up a little bit, would you, buddy? Number one.
I don't want to.
Anytime now. There, I can actually hear myself. I'll be damned. One of us is deaf. but watch when we play the music, I'm gonna be like, ah!
You're going to be like, it's too loud.
My brain. Anyhow, we got a lot to get to today. Most specifically with the state of California and their love for trying to fuck you out of your Second Amendment rights. And they're not done yet, are they?
No.
They keep shooting bill after bill after bill. I mean, they're going gangbusters on this. Anybody who even cares about the Constitution and or their Second Amendment rights needs to start speaking out, signing witness slips, calling their congressman, and just generally kicking some ass. Or we're going to be done. It's going to be over. And let me tell you, once this stuff actually goes through, it's a hell of a lot harder to get back.
Right.
I mean, just a brief cut on what we'll be talking about. They want to get into your social media. They want to, I don't know, serial number every single bullet, and they want to ban most of the firearms that are any good in the first place. So, what would be the point of the rest of these bills if they're going to fuck you out everything anyway?
I was going to say, hell, they've got a bill currently that they're trying to basically ban Glocks or anything that won't show up on a basic metal detector or X-ray.
They're retarded because Glocks do show up on a basic metal detector because the slides are not
Yeah,
plastic.
I know,
It's metal.
but
The barrels are not plastic. Whoever writes these bills is probably, intellectually dead.
yeah, pretty much.
But
They're like, I like tater tots.
my name is Jimmy and I like apples.
Yeah, well, it is the
Quoting
state
the
of
rare.
California, so.
Yeah, but see, we got a mold. Hey, Jess, what the fuck's up, man?
Hey, Jess.
Hey, Jess, glad you jumped on, brother. I need you to send me your song again because when the tornado come through and I'm kind of boned me in the ass without a kiss, it destroyed a lot of my files. so I need the song back, man. We've been wanting to play it, but we can't because we don't have it. And you and I got some talking to do on songs and stuff like that. You know that. But can you send it to me through Facebook? On here, when you guys send me links, we cannot open them. In fact, I can't even highlight them to open them. There's no copy paste on this. It won't allow us to do that. But anyhow, let's get right to it. Like I said, they're going gangbusters with these whole Second Amendment rights stuff. They're really just trying to take anything that they can. We can kind of go over what we talked about last week. For those of you who weren't listening, basically the assault rifle ban is more like a straight gun ban, and they can they'll still, and according to the bill, they'll still allow you to retain your firearm, but you have to re-register it again
At a charge per weapon.
Yeah. Why am I hearing myself?
I don't know.
Really, Mark?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jess. During one of the breaks, I'll get that downloaded so we can actually play it. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was going to say, basically, any gun that uses a magazine, they want to get rid of. And law enforcement and security is not exempt from it.
They're not.
Nope.
Tell me more.
Well, the most I can tell you is it's probably, if it did get passed, that they're not going to enforce it.
Yeah, Sean, I can agree with that. They do need to, in fact, learn gun anatomy. And how he says it, he goes, learning gun anatomy in simple terms is not complicated. Correct.
But that bill we read last week, you think it was complicated.
Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Thanks for joining us. They're going to try and find a way to screw you out of that too, Jess. With some of with this new bill, especially with the serial numbering of your rounds. Imagine the price tag of what your ammunition is going to be. Most people aren't going to want to have ammunition anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, heck, one of the bills is like a penny per round tax on ammunition.
That's all we need is more taxes in the state.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be going to something else. I don't even remember what the tax is supposed to be going to, but...
Somebody else's pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man, it's dust in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just can't take it. But I'm going to bring up the old bill. The one we talked about last week was Senate Bill 0107, which effectively kills off your rights to own a firearm other than a fucking musket. And even then, that'd be fun. Let's see them try to serial number a lead ball round.
That would be interesting.
Lead ball,
You want to serial number them? Here you go, fuckface. Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing, we read it last week, so I'm not going to go through it again because it's a long-ass bill. But it basically reads, one, like a 5-year-old with no understanding of anything that has to do with firearms wrote the thing. There was definitely no lawyers involved, and if they are, they need to be disbarred because they're fucking stupid. But, and I hate using that word, but it's true. They just keep running. They keep running down the pike. I mean, I've got 4 more bills sitting right here in front of me. The handgun ammo serializing bill, which is about as bad as the last one. I mean, it reads about the same. Basically, the idea is they want to, pension pocket. I just saw that. Thanks, Cheryl. Oh, well, Josh, they're going to have to try and find the lead bullets because I'll powder coat mine. But it basically, in essence, reads like they want to force the manufacturers to put a serial number on every single round, which is technically you can't see by the naked eye, but they can see it. Apparently, they don't know exactly how rounds actually work when they hit something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what they're going to serial number.
Mm-mm.
I mean, even if they serial numbered the base, the blast itself would ruin that. They can't do it around the edge of it because, mushroom, big hole, kind of things like that. But this bill, it's not going to just hurt us. I mean, it's going to hurt our pocketbooks, I'll tell you that for damn sure. But who's going to pass the buck? These manufacturers are going to be like, okay, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to spend millions and millions of dollars trying to get this equipment so we can laser etch all these bullets, but we're going to pass it on to the consumers. So, you might get, a box of 9mm, which usually costs you about $15. It's going to cost you fucking $50.
Just in the state of Illinois.
Yeah, you just got to remind me of that, don't you?
Yeah, that's going to make it hell to go practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you want to drop $50 just for some practice rounds?
Yeah.
But, like I said, the bill is just like the last one. It's very, 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 very long. It basically discusses on how every bullet is to be serialized and rambles on about every crazy thing to which they promise to. They're basically harassing the ammunition manufacturers with this, with surprise routine inspections and all this other stuff. And what kind of charges that you would be facing if you violated it. Which that part we'll probably skip through and we'll go down to it and read it. But first, you gotta forgive me because I gotta find that part of it. Oh dear Lord. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna read all that. There's no way. This is just a synopsis, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you want to just go through the synopsis? Do you have that bill on your little toy over there?
No, I do not. What bill is it?
That would be House Bill 1586. Micro printing on firing pins. Man, don't give me any ideas, okay? Let's not do that. Are you kidding me, Sean? He says Thunder Ranch used to run a course where they trained with muskets and lanterns clearing houses.
Interesting.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for him
That's
to.
it.
You got it?
I think that's it. You said 1586?
Yes, sir. House Bill 1586. Would you please bring it up?
Yeah, I got it. Oh my god.
Anytime now. I'll just start going through.
I'm gonna say because mine's because I'm on a mobile is totally different than.
Okay. Yeah, you're good. The synopsis, basically as introduced, amends the Criminal Code of 2012, provides that beginning January 1st, 2020, all handgun ammunition that is manufactured, imported into the state, or for sale or personal use, kept for sale, offered or exposed for sale, sold, given, lent, or possessed shall be serialized. Provides that January 1st, 2020, any person who manufactures, causes to be manufactured, imports into the state for sale or personal use, keeps for sale, offers to expose. Holy shit, this reads like another idiot's. Or lends any handgun ammunition that is not serialized is guilty of a Class A misdemeanor. I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
You can, yeah, but I bet it goes by round.
Mm-hmm. Per
So
round,
if you have
yes.
so if you have 500 rounds in your bag, you got 500 misdemeanors. You're going to send your ass to prison for the rest of your life. Let's see. Let's keep going. What the fuck? Okay. Anyone who possesses in any public place any handgun ammunition that is not serialized is guilty of a Class C misdemeanor, providing exceptions. Provides that beginning January 1st, 2020, the Department of State Police shall maintain a centralized registry of all reports of handgun ammunition transactions. Oh, dear sweet baby Jesus.
Yep.
You know how much it's going to cost?
Yes.
Do they even have... We're already broke, and they're going to add this on there so that way we can cost the state of Illinois a little bit more fucking money, right?
Yeah, they want to keep tabs on every sale of ammunition.
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, it's believable. It's the state of fucking Illinois. Which, by the way, who was the first state to actually try and pull this bullshit off?
That would be Cali.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know why we call it California. Because whatever California does,
Illinois does.
Illinois is sure to follow. Thank you very much, you bastards. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's see. Reports handgun ammunition transactions reported. Department in a manner prescribed by the department. Okay, good for you. Provides the information in the registry upon proper application for that information. So basically, you're going to have to sign your life away for a box of ammunition now. It shall be furnished to peace officers and authorized employees of the Department of State Police or to the person listed in the registry as the owner of the particular handgun ammunition. provides that the Department of State Police shall adopt rules relating to the assessment and collection of the end user fees in an amount not to exceed 5 cents per fucking round.
There you go.
5 cents per round of ammunition per handgun ammunition or per bullet, in which the accumulated fee amount may not exceed the cost to pay for the infrastructure, implementation, operational enforcement, and future development costs of the provisions as of January 1st, 2020. Am I losing anybody here? Are you reading the chat too, by any chance?
I just flipped back over.
Yeah, I know, Josh. I thought of that years ago and it failed. Cheryl, that's the idea. They can't take away the guns, so get rid of the ammo. Yes, and that's the reason why I have an ammo plant. I mean, it went up in the tornado. I don't own any of that no more. I don't even own firearms. I'm a good boy. I don't have nothing.
No, they went up in the tornado.
Sean's like, who will inspect? Do we have enough health inspectors? Hopefully they'll do like they did with Iran and we'll be able to inspect them ourselves.
Yeah.
In the state of Illinois, yeah. Uh-huh.
That's the hope of everybody. I think we're gonna go on that one. Jesus.
Yeah, so I mean, you can manufacture your own, but if you get caught with them, it's a misdemeanor per round.
Class A misdemeanor, yes.
Oh man, this is gonna be fun.
Man, they had already tried this a few years ago, and it failed. So what makes them think they're going to be able to do it this time?
Because they have a monarchy. Because there's nobody else left in the Senate to actually fight back or even have a chance of fighting back.
Do they not realize that there's more of us versus them?
They don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Illinois is now a monarchy, so they don't care. We have no voice, or they think we have no voice in the state. So,
well, remember every single one of these bills. Let me find my thing here that I was looking for.
Did you read the article I sent you about Madigan anyway?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, we have no voice as far as anything's concerned. So,
well, remember every one of these bills when they come up, they say that they are direct representations of the people of Illinois.
Horseshit.
No, actually, there's that little bitty thing called Cook County is what we're dealing with.
Like representations of the people. Which ones, the living or the dead?
Exactly.
Good question. Well, Sean, I'm already. You know what? When we go on break too, I'm gonna have Matt look something up for me. Remember, I've already issued a challenge to Blago Jr. How about everybody write Madigan too for the same thing? And remember what I said. I said I want to sit down in front of Blago Jr. No other representatives, no lawyers, no nothing. Just me and him on YouTube Live via the machine. And I want to sit down with him face to face and talk to him about these bills and try and get an understanding as to what he actually thinks is going to work. And the reason why I want to do that is because apparently the guy doesn't know a fucking thing about firearms, and this ought to be a lot of fun.
Well, there's a bill in regards to that whole thing.
We'll do that later.
Okay.
Turn on. Do it. I need nicotine.
1, 2, 3, do it.
Oh, that's better. Anyhow, so what do you guys actually think about this? I mean, Sean's right. We don't even have enough health inspectors. How the fuck are we going to take care of people running around, going to houses like, may I see your ammunition, please? There's no serial number on this one. Oh, sorry, wrong batch. Here you go.
Or going to the range and doing that.
Yeah, good luck. You know what? That's what I want to do. I want to see them idiots sitting out there with a fucking hand shovel going, we're going to dig this ground out of the wall. Because, you know, I mean, it'd be fun to watch, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, go ahead, moron. Keep looking. I think there's another one over there.
Are we sure that wasn't fired prior to 2020 that doesn't have...
Well, and like I said, you know, I hate, you know... I'm going to pull his battery. I hate being, you know, repeating myself. I really do. But imagine what the cost is going to be, not only to the manufacturer, but to you once they actually try to serial number these things. And what's going to cost the state for them to try and, you know, through ISP, through Illinois State Police, and whatever else, to try and keep track of this shit. And the amount of paperwork it's going to do on these businesses and what it's going to do to these businesses. They don't think about any of this. They don't think about the repercussions and what's going to happen to everybody once they try to push these through. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah.
Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened. Anyhow, I don't know. You got any more thoughts on this, Matt? Really, do you? Is there anything else rolling around?
I mean, what else is there to say about this? I mean, well, they're going to have to hire more people. So there goes more spending into that in our state, which is already broke.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I got a song that I think we're going to play to them. Sean actually asked us what our music's going to be like tonight. Well, you know, you never know with us. It's obviously going to be heavy. I mean, there's no question with that. Yeah, wrong button. Where is it? Aha, there it is. Alrighty then. Well, somebody's saying something. Ooh, somebody's saying something. Yeah, you're right. Let's go into that with Cheryl real quick. Yeah, out of business signs will be going up really fast, especially all your mom and pop establishments. It's like they hate the little guy, so they're going to be like, okay, well, places like, you know, Walmart, or actually Walmart would be like, just fuck you and just stop carrying the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll have, you know, basically all that's going to be left is like Shields and Cabela's
and Bass Pro.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that's going to be it.
You know, and once it gets to that point, those corporations are easier to control. They're easier to manage.
Yes, Josh. We're going to be talking about that actually in the next segment. We're going to go ahead and go to a break at this moment. But Sean, well, you're going to figure out what we're going to play real quick.
This is Waylon from A Killer's Confession, so pay attention. You're listening to Brandon and Matt on the Machine Radio Show.
Fuck your
Hey lefties, liberals, and progressives. This is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy's wow. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
And Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm gonna need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do. It's time for a random thought from the Machine Radio Show. This is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. Just a thought. Never make eye contact while eating a banana. It may weird a few people out. This has been your random thought from the Machine Radio Show. Okay, we finally decided to start doing. We finally decided to start doing our random thoughts gig, and that was our first one. We got some pretty random ones on there.
You're welcome.
Chris was like, "What the fuck was that?" Hey, what's going on? I don't know why it's glitchy on YouTube. I'm really sorry about that, guys. We don't know what's going on with YouTube tonight. I wish there was something we could actually do about it, but unfortunately we are tied down. And why don't we have any fucking booze?
We do have booze. It's right there.
But I don't see
I
you
even brought shot glasses.
I don't see you doling that shit out yet.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Get going. Fuck. By the way, official shot glass, the Machine Radio Show. Yeah. And by the way, we're going to do another rock, paper, scissors, and this poor guy, one of us is going to have a really bad time. Because during this episode of Rock, Paper, Scissors, we're going to end up with a mix of UV vodka lemonade flavored, some cheap silver tequila, and the Kraken all mixed in one.
Silent Bob ran off.
Yeah,
Does he want some?
I'm sure he does.
We'll pour him a glass.
We'll get him some. But yeah, that's going to be tragic. Somebody's going to be the poor hapless bastard that's going to be drinking that shit. But you know, I'm not waiting on him. Are you?
No.
Okay, I'm not waiting on him. This shit drives us to drink. So yeah, so definitely to the new little thing we're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it. Random thoughts with the Machine Radio. Oh. Hey, Chris is like, dude, you got the Kraken. I see an empty seat I can fill. Well, you know, that's one thing about this show, before we get back into the ass raping that is the state of Illinois. That's one thing about this show is our studios are open.
Oh, yeah.
We love it when people come and stop by. I mean, be prepared. You might end up doing something really fucking stupid. But you're going to be part of the show. We're still trying to get Sean to do the Death Nut Challenge with us, but he won't do it.
What? I'm going to say, yeah, that has to be on YouTube's end.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, look at that. He's back. It's about time. We were getting ready to start again. You got to kind of, come in and fuck up the day here a little bit. Come on. A little bit faster now. Sit down and get your shit on so we can start talking again. Well, we already talked about them wanting to serial number your shit. Now they want you to give up your passwords to any of your social media accounts.
Yep. And if they find something on there they don't like, you don't get your guns.
Well, last time I checked, and I'm no, apparently since I didn't go to UCLA or something like that, I'm not reasonably educated, I guess.
Right. You don't know how it was written. You don't know anything.
Yeah, but last time I checked, it's the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 14th, isn't it? The first, 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 14th Amendments are all violated once they try to do this to you.
Right.
This is a right to your own privacy, even though you can make things public or whatever else like that, and it is on social media, it is on the web. It is still considered a very, very large invasion of privacy. And of course, once again, we're talking about the state of Illinois. By the way, they cut out the middleman. They skipped California. They used New York this time. Because it's usually New York does it, then California does it, then Illinois does it. This time they cut out the middleman altogether and said, fuck you, we're going right to the fun. Because if you remember right, that was a big thing in New York and New Jersey where they were trying to pull this too.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you owned a firearm, they had to have your passwords. I'm not okay with this. I don't know if you guys are okay with this. I'm definitely not okay with it.
I'm not okay with it.
Nope. No reason for him to have it.
Hell, I'm not even sure I remember my passwords to my social media.
It's like some businesses, when you got hired on, they try to pull that shit. They wanted access to your social media.
No.
It's like, no.
It's a violation of my privacy.
Right.
I've never said anything bad about previous employers. So
right.
No.
Well, see, they don't want to stop there. I mean, they really want to go gangbusters with this, and the bill again reads like stereo instructions. It's terribly written, but the basic gist that I can give you is that they literally want you to turn over any of your social media accounts, so they can monitor them for what they consider hate speech. Or anything else that would make somebody nervous about you owning a firearm. So basically, if they looked at my page, they'd probably have a stroke.
Mine too.
But again, we say a bunch of stupid shit on here. That's our job. But that obviously being said, when's the last time you've said, okay, we would like to use this and go shoot this guy? Never. Or have you ever seen us condone violence against anybody? Unless it's a swift kick in the ass. But just because obviously we are on the other side of the spectrum, we are not a liberal person. I'll say that nicely for once. We are not on the left side of things. They would view us as bad people, and they would want to make sure that we couldn't own.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all this is about. This is not about your safety. This is 100% about control. They want control of you. They want control of everything, every aspect of your life, and they will not be satisfied until they get that. I do not understand how people can vote these. Woo-sa. How they can vote these people in with a straight face and not realize, after the fact, well, I just don't want this guy to be in, so I'm going to vote this guy in. Well, yeah, that's kind of normal. but what you're voting for is all out exactly what the founding fathers were against in the first place, which is an obvious tyrannical government. And I don't use that term lightly, okay? I don't. Do you want to add something to this so I'm not on a fucking rant again? I mean, I know my rants sometimes get to be epic later on, but go ahead.
Just kind of look at it, if this does go through, as well as I do, they will put emotion into what you put into. So you disagreed with somebody. Well, you were angry when you disagreed with them, so we're going to take your guns away. We all know that's what's going to happen because they don't know how to keep themselves in check, and they will abuse the power that we allow them to have.
Yeah, see, that's the one thing that seems to be getting lost in translation when it comes to government anymore, especially in the state of Illinois, is that we don't fucking work for you, you work for us.
Right.
Okay? Look, I'm getting angry right now. Are you going to fucking take my guns away because I'm getting angry?
They're certainly trying.
They're definitely trying. There's no doubt about that. They are trying everything that they can. But I don't know about anybody who's within earshot of this who's listening. I'm not going to give up my password to them. If they want something, they can go look themselves. Because most of a lot of my shit's public, especially my angry rants. Because I want everybody to know that I am angry about this situation. But they don't really want to stop there. I mean, they even went as far as they want you to log your email. They want you to log in your phone number. So basically, this is all out spying, which is why obviously this would violate the Second Amendment because of, firearms or the right to bear arms, but it definitely 100% violates the First, the Fourth, the Fifth, and the 14th. And I'm pretty sure there was another one in there I missed. Again, I didn't go to UCLA. I am not a I didn't pay, $50,000 a year for college, but I sure as hell am very well educated. I mean, when I first drugged this poor hapless bastard onto the air, he didn't even know he didn't even really know how far I took it and how much I had learned over the years until he started doing. Yeah, Sean, we're going to be talking about that later. We got that shit on deck. Trust me, we're going to have some fun with that one. But even I threw him for a loop. Because I spent a lot of time doing this, and I do have college under my belt. There's no question I do. It's just not an Ivy League or, big money college. But I'll tell you what, I like to read. Both of them have been in my home, in my apartment, and I have a hell of a collection of books, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do.
Would you look at that? A Marine that can read.
Mm-hmm. You don't just eat crayons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sean found her profile.
You're telling me she's on Facebook?
Yes, dude.
No way.
Oh man, we're gonna have to get into that one. That's another segment altogether. But let's go back to this. Let's say that they actually enact this. How many of you out there would actually try to find a way to avoid this? I mean, I know I would. I would shut my shit down.
I was gonna say I'll delete and shut down all my social media.
Yeah, no question. I'd go dark.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Or I'd have a wild alias.
I technically only have one social media account. The rest of it's all radio show stuff.
You and me both.
I'm okay with shutting my account down.
Oh, dude. Hey, Sean, we're going to leave that for a moment. We are definitely going to look into her. Hopefully not into her.
He did say she was single.
Oh, shit. I'm not even sure I want to know.
But My recommendation to everybody is, I don't know if everybody knows this, but if you go on to the Illinois, Illinois.gov, and you go into the bills and stuff like that, you can actually file witness slips. If you can't get to the Capitol, if you can't raise a stink that way, get on your computer, start emailing these people, sign witness slips, saying, we know them, we know about you, we know about this. A lot of people say, well, that's not going to do any good. You would be surprised in numbers how badly we can push back if we fucking stick together.
Right.
That is a problem, is people don't want to stick together. They don't want to, we ran into this with the Obama administration. People didn't want their faces seen. I don't give a fuck. They know my name. I came up as a person of interest on somebody's fucking background check.
I remember that.
I don't remember that, but
You don't remember that?
Oh,
Dude, they came over to the garage talking to me, and he was
Okay.
like, dude, I just did a background check for a job, and you came up as a person of interest.
oh
yeah.
jeez,
Somebody had put him down as a
oh,
reference.
Lord. I guess I do remember that.
My job here is done. But, yeah. Regardless, I don't know what you guys are afraid of. What are they going to do? Oh, well, they got those black sites in Chicago, and we're afraid to get thrown in jail. Fuck off. I don't give a shit. What are they going to do? Come nab me up? Send Madigan. I will slap the dust out of his fucking head. I said, I would do violence on somebody. We probably shouldn't do that, huh?
Pritzker are coming down and start throwing cheeseburgers at you.
Dude, you know, all I have to do is sidestep about 6 feet, and he wouldn't be able to touch me. One, he wouldn't be able to set down his bucket of chicken long enough. Two, I mean, he makes 3 steps and like, he's like that guy carrying a pack in the woods. Sorry for calling you out, Mark. Oh, we took him off on a tangent from this the raping that we're getting. We went out to the woods. Of course, we're carrying our rifles and our packs and stuff like that. And this man makes it like 50 feet. And
It was longer than
oh
that.
bullshit! It was.
It was longer than that.
I turn around and look at him, and he's like, I was like, a little out of shape, are you?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Dude, I haven't worked out in years.
Shut up.
And I can still walk farther than you. Admittingly, though, I was kind of built for carrying a pack and heavy equipment and being able to move around. But the sounds he was making.
I made it where I was going, didn't I?
Yeah, but I think you fell asleep in a chair right after we started the fire.
No, I didn't.
Like, you look over and his eyes are all rolled back in his head.
No, they weren't.
I knock things over. That's what I do.
So, Sean, are you saying you're ditching Cortez now,
Sean, you can't ditch Cortez.
or are you looking at maybe this menage a trois?
Apparently, he's hoping for a federal and menage a trois with.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's one of the things that we're going to be getting into, so we're probably going to take a nice long break for that one.
Yeah.
Because I got to set all that shit up.
Gotta get
That's
the
gonna
mood
be good.
just right.
But before we go to break, you know what? Just keep talking. I'm going to set up for a break, and then we got to do something. So
When you go to break, go on to Weaponized Loss page. Josh was telling you need to go check it out.
I know I caught that. I just haven't had a chance to click on it yet.
All right. That was pretty cool what he did. So, and then I'm going to have to dig up that article. What the hell is that?
Hey,
don't.
And if Jess is still here, tell him that Jess, if you're still listening, it still won't let me download it. I don't know what's going on, but it won't let me download it.
That's not good.
No.
No.
Dude, we haven't played that in forever. We're going to play that.
Sean's like, as long as neither of them talk.
Well, he's got a point there. Mm-hmm. I mean, even I would probably smash Cortez if you'd shut the fuck up. I said that on air, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
You did.
Alrighty then. Okay, so best 2 out of 3 rock, paper, scissors again. And mind you, this is what's going to happen. We're going to mix UV lemonade, some cheap-ass fucking silver tequila, and Kraken all in one shot glass, and the poor bastard that loses is going to have to drink it. So we're gonna have to do it first and then mix it.
Okay.
You in on this?
No.
You pussy.
Oh, well, he still got crack in there.
I'm still cracking.
Well, drink your shit, because you're getting in on this. This is going to be a three-way rock paper scissors.
No. 4-way.
One.
All right, Matt.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
All right. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Fuck.
1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Fuck. Do you want to guess who fucking lost? Should we do that again so I can actually see it on camera? So I can get out of the first one?
Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll do a shot along with you.
The same thing?
Same shit.
Oh,
half and half.
If you're watching on YouTube, this is going to be bad. This is going to be really bad.
Now, the UV doesn't sound bad. The cheap-ass tequila is going to suck.
Okay, so remember what the mix is. We've got UV lemonade vodka, Margaritaville white tequila, and the Kraken.
The Kraken.
And they're all mixed together. God, I'm so not looking forward to this. Dude, it doesn't even mix right. Look at that.
No, I don't.
No.
It almost like sits on top of the other one.
All right, Matt, put some Kraken in there.
Almost need some stirrers or something.
Oh, this ain't gonna be right. I'm already barfing in my mouth.
Oh, it looks like whiskey.
Uh-huh.
It may look like whiskey. Oh, god damn. It sure as hell don't smell like it. Oh.
Katie's like stomachs of steel.
Take a sniff of that.
I smell it from here.
That's kind of jacked up.
Oh, man. What we do for radio. What? Motherfucker. What?
She wants to smell it. It's different.
It smells like a bucket of shit.
It smells like pina colada.
Honestly, a little bit, yeah. It does smell a little bit like pina colada.
Oh, like I said, this is for you guys, okay? This is for you guys.
I came in here for the torture.
So, this crap that's mixed together.
This is for you guys.
Yeah, this is for the listeners right here.
Don't barf.
Oh.
I'm more worried about him than him.
Actually, that wasn't half bad.
That actually wasn't too bad.
It didn't smell.
I thought it was going to be
I was
worse
gonna
than
say
it was.
The faces from this one are much more.
It's got a bite to it.
Now, I'm not a big fan of tequila because to me it tastes like an old leather shoebox, and I'm getting that taste now.
I was gonna say Brandon's faces are much more priceless. Matt
I'm getting
had
like
no
an
fa-
aftertaste of like coffee now. What the hell?
Dude, it does.
I was gonna say Matt's face was just stone.
Okay,
Yeah, it was
so
like- Because I thought it was going to be really nasty, but it was like,
actually, it's not that terrible. I think we found a new mix to kill our stomachs with. All right, that being said, we're going to take a break.
Watch me poop.
Poison, one poison kill.
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say? I didn't stutter. I said
The Machine Radio Show.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show. It's time for a random thought from the Machine Radio Show. This is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. Would the person who proofread Hitler's speeches be considered a grammar Nazi? This has been your random thought from the Machine Radio Show. I'm sorry, but some of those are going to get really good. You know they're going to be. Hey, Matt. How do you feel about tattoos?
How do I feel tattoos?
How do you feel about tattoos?
I need another one.
You need another one?
Yeah.
Should we make a recommendation?
Yes, we should.
We should recommend, a shop to all. I mean, they are actually one of our sponsors after all.
They are indeed.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody who wants to go out and get tattoos, I personally, the Machine Radio Show, Matt, and me, personally recommend Ricky Johnson at Forever Yours Tattoo Studio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And after that, here's a word from our sponsor. If it's that time again to indulge yourself with some new ink, or maybe a body piercing, then Forever Yours Tattoo Studio is the place for you. With 27 years experience in tattoos and body piercing, artist Ricky Johnson has you covered, pun intended. Freehand or custom drawn art, maybe some permanent cosmetics, repair of the half done or faded work you got years ago. Or maybe you need a cover up on that nasty scratcher ink you got in a dusty old basement with a sewing needle. Ricky will take care of you. Forever Yours is located at 209 West Main Cross Street in Taylorville. Stop on in or give them a call at 217-824-2INK. They are open Wednesday through Saturday, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. They are also open 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. every other Tuesday. Forever Yours is a health board certified business using modern sterilizing equipment. Tell them the two nutballs on the Machine Radio Show sent you.
Thank you very much, the FCC, for proving that free speech just isn't free.
And obviously we're back, and we got a story. We got to kind of break up the monotony here, just a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm already laughing before I even get to this one. Well, this is an exciting thing to come across, literally. Okay, so apparently this particular person, this woman, got arrested for masturbating in public, but she didn't stop there. Where did she continue at, Matt?
She continued on while handcuffed in the back of a police car, where she finished.
How do you... Because they usually handcuff you from behind?
Some people have small enough hips they can slide the cuffs down and bring them up to the front.
Fuck, not me. I'd be like, nope. I'd be just sitting there sticking my crank between my legs and kind of going like this. Visual, thank you very much. You want to go ahead and start with this?
Gotta love YouTube.
This happened in Austin, Texas. And I guess police responded to a complaint from the JW Marriott Austin Hotel at about 5:20 p.m. about a woman across the street. Can you imagine the dispatch call coming in? Quote, holding a silver object against her privates with her legs straight up in the air, spread open.
Go ahead. You go.
Apparently, the hotel worker said that he could hear the woman making moaning noises. Apparently, she's been identified as Dovie Nichols, 26. Dovie. What kind of name is Dovie?
Dovie.
Dovie,
maybe?
Dovie.
But as you were, carry on.
Hippie. She had hippie parents.
Or they wanted to name her after a dog.
Keep going.
That was another one I thought of, too, named after a dog. I guess the worker saw the woman masturbating on the patio for about 7 or 8 minutes. I'm sure he was probably doing something too. The worker said the woman told him to back off as he approached her to tell her to stop.
I highly doubt they fucking taught you to fucking close your eyes and fucking come wherever you want.
Sorry, keep going.
She then went to the second bar and kitchen across the street, where the lewd behavior allegedly continued. When police arrived at the bar, the woman stopped moving her arms under the table and placed them on top of it. But officers observed that Nichols was not wearing any pants. After being arrested, Nichols allegedly continued to pleasure herself, even while handcuffed in the back of the squad car.
You're jerking your dick like a goddamn pilgrim.
So let me get this straight. She didn't stop.
She did not stop.
Could you imagine? Okay, I got to take this a little bit further. Can you imagine the smell of a squad car?
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
So as you were carry on.
Police went across the street to investigate the original complaint and learned from a hotel employee that the woman had been spotted earlier at the Marriott street-level patio. She was charged with indecent exposure and sent to the county jail with bail set at $3,000.
It must have smelled awful in the car.
Oh, we already addressed that, trust me, with the sound effects. So, I mean, how desperate... Do you think she was high on something?
I'm going to put a big yes on that.
Because it's kind of bizarre to be paddling the pink canoe out in public, right?
Right. Now, the article that we had that was sent to us had her photo on it, okay?
Sean said she works at Sonic.
Yeah, that's what
I'm never buying a hot dog from there again.
She's on Facebook. Now, if you look at her arrest picture versus her Facebook picture, I would say she's probably on meth.
Mm-hmm.
She's tweaking on something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was tweaking. Sean.
Either way, you know.
No pants party don't stop, because the no pants party can't stop.
I think she wants the D.
I'm sorry, I had to play that one more time.
Oh my God. Can't make this shit up, people.
Man. What else? Do we have anything else on that? Or should we just go off of our own whims here?
Let's see. It's a petty charge. So I mean, bail for her was what, $300?
10% more than likely.
And then she's out. I mean, and even if going in front of the judge, she's only going to spend a little bit of time in jail and county.
Right. Well, do you not remember? Do you remember a while back? This is a couple of years ago now, where we did that story about that guy that was fucking the tailpipe of his car.
Yes.
Guy was literally balls deep in his car, and he was just going to town. He was underneath the car, and I guess he grabbed. I mean, I'm trying to do a visualization here. Underneath the car, grabbing hold of the fucking bottom of the car and just going to town with it. And the cops came up and they kept telling him to stop, and he didn't. They tasered him, and he still fucking didn't break stride.
He just kept going.
I mean, I'm just picturing a guy doing this,
I've been dropping loads around this fucking house like a dump truck.
But still, I mean, she had. There's no way she was not on anything, because to be doing it in public for one, and two, to not even stop. I mean, to get in a squad car and just keep fucking partying.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be high on something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Once I got handcuffed and thrown in there, I mean, I'd be, ding ding. There'd be nothing going on down there at all. I'd be like, man, game's over. I'll just wait till I get to my cell.
Yeah, I agree with Sean. Can you imagine the officer's reaction having to go up? I mean, these people face all kinds of weird shit on a daily basis. They have to deal with the public. Sometimes the public comes from some dark unknown universe from another time.
Bet that took the cake for the day.
Oh yeah, I bet that was talked about in the headquarters.
Oh yeah, that was game over. Well, and imagine. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this, but She's like, if you look at her, she's trailer park.
Mm-hmm.
No offense against people who live in trailers because I grew up in a trailer. But she's definitely 100% trailer park. So, man, could you imagine the beating that Mitt took?
I think.
Cop walks up. He's like, "What the fuck?" No.
Holy water now! Trying to bleach his eyes.
Yeah, Sean. At that point, I think they would want the hands where they can't see them, so that she would cover up that nasty dripping mitt of hers.
I think what would have made this story even more better is if they did tase her and she didn't break stride.
Yeah, all I did was make her jizz.
Yeah. She's like, "All right, I'm done."
Thank you very much for the aid. Oh man.
You didn't realize you walked into a room of 12-year-olds, did you?
Well, you got her in the back of the squad car, okay, and obviously she kept going. Once again, we start talking. I'm willing to bet they just handcuffed her in the front.
And that's a possibility too.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But the cop had to know what was going to go on.
I'm hoping that they wore their PPE.
The rubber gloves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because nobody want to catch something, right?
If it's warm and it's wet and it's not yours, you don't touch it.
No.
I disagree, but
It's a bodily fluid. You definitely don't touch it.
Ain't no one knows what that lady.
Now the question is, though, was she finishing while they were driving back to headquarters? Because these guys had to have listened to this shit.
Yes.
yeah, like she wasn't making any fucking noises.
Yeah. No kidding.
I mean, you would at least, if anything, heard or something, Something wrong with this. But either way, this is the second time we've had to talk about, first we had a male do it. Now we have a female do it. I think this is one of the greatest things that's ever happened in Australia. But the show must go on. We can't talk about some lady playing DJ Hero in the back of a squad car anymore.
Did they take the silver toy away? Was it considered a weapon?
Yeah, but what if she was hiding another one? What if she had Benoit balls? We don't know what's going on.
We don't know
here.
what was going on, yeah.
She could have had a row of anal beads. We don't know that.
Sean.
Like pull starting lawnmower.
A family of startled howler monkeys. Oh.
Oh, man. Nothing is ever right.
Nothing is sacred on the show.
No. We will be talking about something a little more serious here in a minute. But we just couldn't resist. That one was good.
I just imagine them bagging evidence. Just think about that.
Oh, it's all wet and sticky.
But yeah, but they at least had to be wearing gloves for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I'm not saying anymore. I'm stopping myself from talking anymore.
No, we're always looking for ways to make some quick get rich scheme. Maybe we should develop some type of rubber pants for EMS and police, so when they come across somebody, it's pantless. Yeah.
I think somebody already did that once. They were called spandex. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a song that fits with this one.
Good luck.
Do we have one that even fits?
I'm trying. I don't know. I keep going through all of our songs going, please, there's got to be at least one thing in here.
It makes you wonder if they actually even tried to search her at that point to make sure she didn't have anything else.
Did they have to
There's
call in
not
a
whole
female
lot-
officer?
I was going to say there's not a whole lot of places to search. She was pantless.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And it's like, did they have to call in a female officer?
Exactly.
Imagine the look on her face, like, why do I have to do this in my life? You know what? Just handcuff her. Pretend she didn't happen.
I can't find anything that fits this one. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, I got one.
Oh, jeez.
Admit it, this is going to be fucking hilarious.
This is radio. Do you guys need any assistance?
Admit it, this is going to fit.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, gotta go. Be right back.
Let's go! Live for this! Live for this! Live for this! Live! If you don't live for something, you'll die for nothing! Best of the worst, the struggle, the sacrifice, for the truth remained in the new blood. Motivation, undying allegiance, striving through the ultimate affliction. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this. Live for this, live for this, live. If you don't live for something, you'll die for nothing. What we have are not possessions we own. It's not weighed by greed or personal gain. This is real, a desire for freedom. A place apart from a world that abandoned. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this. Live for this. Live for this. Live. If you don't live for something, you'll die for nothing. Live for this. Live for this. Live for this. Live. I live for this. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this. Every drop of blood, every bit of tear, every beat of sweat, I live for this.
Time for ding-a-ling tug-tug.
I just figured that'd be fitting.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to mention there was something else about that story that we wanted to mention. There was something that happened to me like yesterday. I sent it to Matt, and Matt about died. I'm actually gonna try and bring it up on my phone. I think my backup battery died. Let's see here. Okay, so I went to the yesterday was my birthday, so I went to the liquor store to get me something a little different, and we found a phone in the parking lot. This is before we get to our other important stuff we're supposed to be talking about, but I went into a parking lot, and I found a phone, and I picked it up, and we were messing with it, and I slid the screen over, and me and the owner of the liquor store began laughing uncontrollably because right on the screen there is a messenger, and it says what, Matt?
From Sydney, it says, "I want your dick down my throat."
I am not kidding. This actually happened. This is not a joke. I'm gonna try and get this to the camera so they can actually see this. I don't think we're gonna be able to get it to look. Hold on.
Yeah, there it is. It showed up.
So that really fucking happened. And I think I sent that to Sean too, and Sean just put the 2 words "Happy Birthday." I was like, no, dude, I was standing right there with my wife. I don't think it's gonna work out. It was funny as hell, but oh man, that was good though. That was still high quality entertainment. But anyhow, we should be probably getting back to our actual.
I wonder if that person picked their phone up.
I wonder.
Oh, dude, I got to go back there and actually find out. Because I told the owner, I said, I'm going to be back. I was like, you got to tell me the story. Because he managed to call somebody on that phone.
Really?
Or no, I think when we were standing there, the dude that owned the phone called it. And the guy kept fucking with him on the phone. He's like, who's this? I bought this phone for $100. By the way, somebody wants to deck that. He's like, oh, that's too awesome. Okay, we really got to get back to what we were supposed to be doing here. We already went well beyond what we should have. If I can find what I was looking for. Oh, according to one website, townhall.com, the Mueller probe may finally end.
No, say it isn't so.
Finally.
During a press conference on Monday, Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker said that the special counsel Robert Mueller's fuck me, I got to yawn. Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election is coming to an end. The investigation is, I think, close to being completed, and I hope that we can get the report from Director Mueller as soon as possible, Mr. Whitaker said. I've been fully briefed, and I look forward to Mueller delivering the final report. Right now, the investigation is close to being completed. Fundamentally, the Mueller investigation has a very defined scope. Not really. It's a very wide scope because basically what they've tried to do is anything possible at all that they can try and find to impeach Trump because he's the one that they can't control. They look for and they try to find. Do you have that up, Matt?
I'm still trying to find it. There it is, I think. Yes.
Yeah, considering the investigation has gone off the rails.
It's been going on for way too damn long.
Oh, but you got the talking heads on the left that
yeah, it hasn't gone far enough.
No, they keep bringing up Watergate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Watergate took this long, and Watergate took that one. Yeah, what the fuck ever. The only difference is Watergate was, like a few minutes of fucking tape.
Mm-hmm.
And this entire time, they haven't had anything on the president, so,
Well, they've even said they didn't find anything. They've been saying that for a long time, and it's like, well, why are you still doing this?
There's nothing to find.
It's time to, hang it up and move on.
Yeah, once you realize there is nothing there, just go away. But we've heard over and over again that Mueller's investigation was coming to an end, but nothing was ever produced to tell us, necessarily that's what was going to happen. We didn't find anything out.
Mm-hmm.
According to House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, cockroach, Whitaker's remarks were inappropriate, clearly referencing Whitaker's past comments on limiting Mueller's authority. Again, we call Adam Schiff a cockroach for a reason. I mean, he is, after all, one of the Obama bot types that absolutely despises Trump for no reason at all, and is from California. Pretty much any time any of these guys say they're from California, I immediately lose all faith and credibility. But Adam Schiff says an acting attorney general who refuses to follow the advice of ethics lawyers and recuses himself from an investigation in which he has shown a clear bias is the last person who should speak for the special counsel. But yet, if you go backwards, Mueller is a special bias, so is the rest of the freaking calm down. The rest of the idiots that are involved in the investigation, like Stroke and several others, because they had a special interest in this, didn't they?
Yeah.
But we're supposed to take their word for it, right? Isn't that what they said?
Mm-hmm.
We should believe what they say.
Yeah, because they don't lie.
But the Democrats have been upset with Whitaker multiple times for his remarks, even prior to him joining the Justice Department to begin with. I mean, Whitaker, who was appointed Associate Attorney General after Jeff Sessions was fired on November 7th, has come under fire from Democrats because of statements he made before joining the Justice Department, as I said, criticizing the Russian probe. Well, because it's complete and utter bullshit, and it was done by a false fucking piece of paperwork to begin with. Made up by a man who just wanted a paycheck that was paid by the Clinton Foundation. So, yeah. But as the head of a conservative watchdog group, Whitaker questioned whether Mueller had the constitutional authority to investigate President Donald Trump for obstruction of justice for firing James Comey. See, that's the funny thing. We've talked about this before. The Democrats constantly called for Comey's resignation and to have him fired long before before Trump even decided to go into office. Now, all of a sudden, since he was actually fired because he was a piece of shit, they got a problem with it. Irony abounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was because he was fired by a Republican, not because,
But, as I said, Whitaker also asserted that there was no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russian government, while calling into question the political makeup of the grand jury that Mueller is using in Washington, D.C. I think the grand jury makeup is concerning based on where they called this grand jury. Whitaker told radio show host David Webb in 2017. Whitaker appeared to address these prior statements on Monday, saying that they were sort of the statements that I made as a private citizen. And he's allowed to do that. He just can't be like Stroke and use official channels to push his hatred for somebody.
Right.
Blowjob Gate didn't take that long.
Nope.
I just saw that, Josh. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's talking about Slick Willie and the blouse.
Mm-hmm.
Which apparently had sexy stains all over it. Earlier this month, President Donald Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, told Fox News that Trump administration wants as much information as possible to be released to the public. Well, yeah, that's what we've been waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
No question. We want to know if this is actually over or if it's just the beginning. But the way I'm looking at it is basically this: they since day one have tried to get rid of Trump before he even did anything, and they try to dupe you. They try to make everybody think that this is how everybody thinks. No, this is how they think. They had no issue with Trump when he was running. Once he got the nomination, then they had an issue with him. And they said that before he was even inaugurated, they were already talking about articles of impeachment.
Right.
Think about that. They didn't even let the man get into office to do anything at all before they started thinking about impeachment. And you tell me that they are not biased, that they do not hate this man for no reason at all. It has nothing to do with what he's doing. It has nothing to do with what he's going to do. It just has to do with their hatred towards him because they knew at the time, after his campaign promises and stuff like that, that he was going to be the one that they could not control. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. They can't negotiate with him like they can with other politicians. And he was a threat, or he is a threat to them.
Because he's not a career politician.
Yeah, and they can't buy him out either, or buy him off. You know.
Well, see, that's the new thing that people are talking about. They say, well, he is a politician. You know, he was acting like a politician long before, and this and that, and he had his hands in this and that. And I'm like, you're really just grasping at straws, aren't you? Because they're running out of ways to run the man down. They really are.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, it needs to be almost a full release, because if it's going to end up being a selective release of information, it's going to be a problem. It's going to cause a problem.
So you're saying it's got to be a full release like that girl in the back of the squad car,
right?
Okay. or like Slick Willie in the blouse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or the guy with the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to bring that back up. Well, I'm just waiting to watch. You know, the left's heads just explode when they find out there was absolutely nothing that they could pin him on.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why they don't want to release anything, because if they do, then they can't keep going with it. It's, you know, once it's released to the public, it's done. It's over with.
I say if. Well, we already know that they didn't find anything, but when they come out and say that they didn't find anything, that the either Weaponized Sloth or the Machine hosts a party with about 4 or 5 bottles of Kraken for our listeners. Yeah, Sean, I didn't get to the State of the Union part. Matt, do you actually want to look that up? Trump's plans for the State of the Union? Because I don't think I actually got that up on my screen. And while you're doing that, I'm going to step outside for a second.
No, you're not allowed to.
Yeah, no dead air. Keep talking. Got to go pee.
Yeah, as I say, I didn't really pay attention much to the State of the Union. I never did get to watch it.
Well, it hasn't been scheduled.
Yeah.
They've been playing with the rescheduling and letters back and forth between he and Pelosi and...
Pelosi.
Because she won't accept him into the House chamber, and, you know, it seems to be her house to... as opposed to the people's, and, you know...
Yeah.
Telling him that he needs to pick another venue, and, you know...
I did seen that, but, you know, and it was almost kind of a retaliation, because he grounded her from going anywhere.
Yes.
She got a little triggered over that.
Well, considering, you know, she was taking, 6 other senators and 93 family members to go visit troops.
Yeah, but they were going to other places that were more of a vacation stop than it was official business.
Kind of what I was thinking. I was going to say I was pretty certain that they hadn't actually rescheduled it, but... or at least I hadn't heard the latest on whether or not they had actually officially rescheduled the State of the Union.
Mm-hmm. Or is he actually coming? He still plans on to deliver it, so it hasn't been done yet?
I know he plans on delivering it, but I wasn't sure if they had actually scheduled a date for it.
Yeah, let's go with this.
Stacey Abrams is actually going to do the counter speech. That's what Sean said.
Oh, I haven't checked.
Matt was still looking for all that information.
Well, Sean says it's scheduled for February 5th, Tuesday night.
Okay.
Obviously, we're going to be listening in.
Ah.
Well, Matt can't seem to find it, Sean, so we're kind of stuck.
Mr. Evans says the 5th.
Well, we're going to be listening to that, definitely. I mean, obviously, we're going to be listening to that because I want to... actually, I'm not just going to be listening to it. I'm definitely going to be watching that shit.
Depends on what time.
As long as I'm not working, I plan on watching it. Or at least listening to it.
Well, I gotta watch it because I want to watch to see if Pelosi's still sucking on a nut, and if Schumer's horns pop out of his head.
Find out what kind of crap he delivers to, what kind of digs he takes at Pelosi.
And I hope they span across and go to Cortez and see if she's eating paste, stuff like that. I mean, because it's obviously it was going to happen. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Mr. Sean, since nobody else can find it. I thought I had it, but apparently I didn't bring it up, and I lost it. Trump is to throw... man, that's what we were going to miss. Trump to throw spotlight on abortion in State of the Union address.
Mm-hmm.
We were actually talking about that earlier, and we actually had a story brought up on the screen, but we did not get to it. Obviously, we were probably not going to get to it, but since it's in the State of the Union address, we probably will.
Several states' late-term abortions.
But, it says President Donald Trump is telling conservative allies he wants to incorporate firm anti-abortion language into his State of the Union address Tuesday and potentially include an anti-abortion figure among his list of invitees, according to 4 sources familiar with his plans. For those of you who don't know, and since we're not going to, because this other story would take us forever, so we're going to go ahead and just throw this in here since he mentions that. I'm going to bring it up real quick, though, so I can kind of reference it. New York, not surprising. They say no. It says on here, and it's actually bullshit because I've looked it up myself. It says no. The New York abortion law does not allow any late-term abortion. Actually, that's all it's about is late-term abortion. It's about third trimester abortion, up to and including the day before the infant is born.
Right.
So no, this is a left-wing thing that I brought up too, but I just had to bring it up because it was the only one at the time that came across my screen when I was busy. But no, that is definitely what their plans are, is late-term abortion. That's specifically what that bill is for. And California and Illinois are actually trying to follow suit and do it as well. I'm gonna stop doing that. But it's painfully obvious that's what's going on. But let's go back to the speech here. Let's see. Trump sees an opening to energize his evangelical supporters. Not necessarily. Anybody with a fucking conscience or a heartbeat should probably be in this collection as well. And capture moderate voters who administration officials believe may be turned off by widespread coverage of New York's newest abortion law, which allows for termination of some pregnancies after the 24-week mark for health reasons. The issue is one of many the president will address in a Tuesday night speech, which aides say currently clocks in at about 1 hour. So we'll have about 1 hour of us listening to him talk. Which, mind you, 9 times out of 10, the only reason why we sit there and watch him for more than a few minutes to talk is because we like watching the pan-outs of the Democrats. Because anytime he says something, they just lose their shit, which is hilarious. Trump is even expected to deliver what one Republican close to the White House called a warm and fuzzy overture to his recent nemesis in the border wall fight, which is obviously House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who will be sitting a few feet behind the president atop the chamber. This is going to be beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we're so going to be watching the shit out of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably watch it 2 and 3 times. I might even jack it while watching it. Just to see the pain on that woman's face.
Uh-huh.
At least I won't be in the back of a squad car. I mean, the confines of my own home, but, you know. Just had to say that. I'm sorry. Wow. Abortion has crested as an issue for conservative legal activists in recent days after New York's Democrat Governor Andrew, Jizzbag Cuomo, signed the late-term abortion bill Tuesday. Trump has discussed the issue with the prominent conservative Christians, including on a phone call this week with Faith and Freedom Coalition President Ralph Reed. Well, yeah, that's kind of neither here nor there, obviously. We know how the religious and the faithful feel about it. We know how we feel about it, and we're neither. So, I mean, it's the whole abortion thing it's a human thing, okay? It's a plain human thing. I mean, is that not how you feel about it?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think the whole New York abortion thing's kind of blown out of proportion. I haven't really fully been able to go through the bill yet, but a lot of it, what you hear is health reasons, which a health reasons is if it's going to cause the child or the mother to die.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, woman being pregnant, 2 weeks before the baby's born. Oh, I don't want it. Let's get rid of it. No, I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
I'm actually seeing that as a possibility, unfortunately.
Because if there's somebody like that, they have a problem. Mm-hmm. They probably need to be locked up in a padded room somewhere.
By that point in the pregnancy, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you see the interviews over this, where one plainly stated that if the baby comes out and is still breathing, they give the parents the option to either kill it or keep it.
Yeah, but the question is, does he even know what the fuck he's talking about?
He's one of the co-sponsors of the bill. I'd hope he does.
Oh, come on. We looked at gun bills here earlier. I mean, did they really sound like they knew what they were doing? Or they knew what they were talking about?
You knew what I meant. See, even Josh, after 24 weeks, there's no reason to abort it. It can be delivered alive.
That's not necessarily true. There are things that do happen. They don't catch things at certain times. There's shit happens sometimes. Let's just put it that way. Because I've come across some stories where after 24 weeks, things went wrong, and they wanted to terminate the child, but because they didn't have it in place, she had to give birth to it, and it was stillborn.
Okay, but that's still not an abortion now, is it? What if the baby was not stillborn? What if the baby was alive? You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, but there was a medical condition that had come up. It's different when there's nothing wrong. I understand.
It's still you should still give them a fighting chance to survive. I mean, with all the bleeding hearts out there saying, well, we should do this for the children, which I'm saying, up to and including getting rid of the Second Amendment, and the border brats coming over and stuff like that. Well, think about the children, but they're not thinking about the children. They're thinking about killing the children before they're born, because they say they're not human beings then. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going with.
Well, that I know, I understand, because they say after so many, before, up to a certain week, they don't consider it a human. It's just cells.
But they've proven now with all the modern technology that that's not to be true.
Right, and we've known that because every living cell in your body is alive. If you take away, one group of cells, let's say we take away all the cells that make up your skin, well, guess what? You die. We take up all the cells that make up your lungs, you die. I mean, that we know.
I'm just saying, regardless, that I am not for abortion, so I am a pro-lifer.
Mine is on it's the situation. If it's going to cause death.
Yeah, but see, at that point, why abort? Because if it can still be, through C-section or whatever, taken out of the mother, and if either one, both of them can live over that.
Well, there's certain situations that one or the other is not going to live. Those are the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it's still, again, not necessarily an argument for abortion.
Hmm.
That's still not necessarily an argument for abortion. It's a surgical procedure into which you can see if either one of them or both can live.
Yeah, but they already know if either one of them's going to live. That's why this procedure happens.
Right, but when you do abortion, you're doing no different than well, technically, yeah, you are doing a little bit more different than actually natural birth, but you're still sucking them out. So why not give them the chance first? Maybe we're wrong.
I don't know. I think we've come way too far in technology that we know what we're doing. We can make those, with the tests and everything. They know what's going to happen.
Name one what, Josh? You got me lost there. He said name one. I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. We're waiting. Why are you keeping us waiting? There's only an 8-second delay. At least I think it's only an 8-second delay. Do we remember how long our delay is anymore?
No, it's longer than 8 seconds. I'm pretty sure it's longer than 8 seconds, though.
Hey, Josh, what do you mean by name one? Okay, he's not answering. Yeah, he's not answering, so I don't know where he's going. But go ahead, as you were talking. Oh, thing that could kill mother and child. Name one.
Hemorrhages, infections, seizures that can cause. There's different forms of health complications. Eclampsia.
Preeclampsia. But see, that's still not late term, that's early term. So again, why late term? You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, but there's still situations that can arise that can cause that.
Are we looking something up? We're going to wait patiently. Hold on just a second. Matt is in the middle of looking something up. Sorry for the dead air here. Josh said it again. Can still be delivered after 24 weeks. Katie said hemorrhaging can be stopped.
Not all of it can, though. There's some situations. Not every situation can be stopped.
Well, no, but the fact that we're going to have late-term abortions over what's considered an absolute minute chance is still bizarre, because that still opens a gateway for somebody that says, you know what, after carrying this thing for for a certain period of time, I don't want it no more.
I mean, it's a possibility it could go that way.
Well, that's what half these crazies that have been on these forums have been talking about, which is where I'm coming from with it. Is they sit there and they say, well, that's great, because if my boyfriend leaves me, I don't have to have his child. You're not giving the father a choice in this matter. In fact, I think any abortion that happens, period, the father should have a say in it. I think that should be right.
Unless it's out of, rape, yeah.
Well, you're talking about extending,
Right.
Different circumstances. Yeah, that's totally different altogether.
Right.
But I'm talking about, boy meets girl,
Yes.
boy dicks girl.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
she's pregnant for 6 months.
I'm agreeing with,
and then suddenly decides to get rid of it.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that bill covers that, though. I'm almost positive that bill does not cover that.
It shouldn't cover it.
Yeah,
but
and that's
I'm
true.
sure
it
it's gonna be
shouldn't,
used
but I don't
for
think it
that
does
way.
unless they amend something to it.
Well, how about this? We will research this a little bit more and then revisit it next week.
We can.
Either way, I'm still firm on my stance that I don't think it should happen. I think there's always a possibility that child could survive or that mother could survive, and there's always ways around it. I'm just not for any of this at all. I'm not, and I probably I never will be. I don't believe in in murdering a child. Man, we're ending the show on a dark fucking note, aren't we?
Nah, it's all good.
Well, that being said, I do believe that is actually it for us tonight, is it not?
I think so.
I think so too. We're going to end it on a sour note, I guess.
Yeah.
And we'll actually revisit this next week when we reread the bill, because what I read of it, I didn't like it. Matt might have saw something that I didn't. It does happen. Somebody might have seen something that somebody else didn't. But we'll revisit it next week, and we'll get your opinions on it then. How's that? But as for now, we are out of here this week. We'll be back next week as per usual. You can't get rid of us that easily. We are still on air. Beep, 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 beep. That's my cue. Anyhow, we are out of here for the night, and if I don't fucking quit, we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Good night, all.
Thank you very much for joining me. Let's go.
Shake it! Looking at me.